Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Cryptids and Conspiracies. It's Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Welcome to the show. Tonight, we are going to talk about Frankenstein's monster. Is he possible? And to help do that, I'm going to bring on a couple co-hosts.
Sir,
Like this.
nobody worries about upsetting a droid.
It's because a droid don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose. Wookiees are known to do that.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, all right, I guess. Ready for the next guy to bring on? This dude right here.
Abby someone. Abby someone. Abby who? Abby normal.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. When Wookiee came on, I didn't hear munch, munch, crunch, crunch, munch, munch, crunch, 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 munch, munch.
I wasn't eating my cereal.
He's not eating tonight. Well, not yet. Not yet.
Yet. Allegedly.
All right. Last but certainly not least.
If it's no Scottish, it's clap!
Hello. How's it going, everyone?
Excellent. How are you, sir, in merry old Scotland?
It's fair,
not,
Midland.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. Bit
Is
chilly.
it snowing over there yet?
No, just wet and damp. Windy. You know.
It's another Saturday. It's a
Just
Saturday.
another day in.
Yeah, it
In
is.
other words, it's Scotland. Anyway.
Yes. And technically it's Sunday now, but okay.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's in that time dilation thing. He's ahead of us.
Oh, it's so confusing.
Greetings from tomorrow.
Yes.
All right. Welcome to the show, RJ Williams. First to comment. Yep. Out of all our channels, you're the first to comment.
Welcome.
Hey.
Yeah.
Broadcasting
Awesome.
to 5
Welcome.
different locations. So
I know.
there you go.
We're in stereo.
Yep.
Oh, crap.
High tech rednecks. There
I
you
know,
go.
right? Oh,
But-
yeah.
Oh, second, as Frankenstein Possible. Well,
I'm trying to imagine that feeble brain being transplanted into another body. It's just kind of like
I like what he said the
Yeah,
other day when we were in North Carolina. What hurricane?
oh really?
What hurricane?
Yeah, they were very happy with the hurricane. Did you know that? We're very happy with the hurricane. Yeah,
Oh wow.
very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bunch of the North Carolinians were like, "Oh, really? We're happy about this? Oh, okay. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yep. You can just.
We'll
you
be
can
talking about that subject mañana on my show. And Bunny, you're going to be there, yeah? Can you make it at 9 o'clock my time? Which is 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock your time?
No idea.
Okay.
I think I got a thing tomorrow. Pretty sure.
Oh, you got a thing? Okay. All right.
Anyway.
Well, Kroll, I'll send you an invite if you want to join us for the.
I've got no
Mayhem
idea what
for Mullet.
time that is.
Oh, the
over here.
morning show?
Yeah, the morning show.
Yeah.
What is 9 o'clock over there? I think it's 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. your time.
All right. Okay. Well, I might be eating food, but we'll see.
Oh, that's cool.
Wookiee eats all the time.
Well, that's fine.
I'll probably be eating too.
Yes, that's
That's
right.
never
You probably will.
stopped looking. That's never stopped looking.
All right.
Okay,
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, tonight's subject. Let me play a clip to kind of get us in the mood. Here we go.
You too. Dead? Eh? Quite a good scene, isn't it? One man crazy, 3 very sane spectators. Yes. Yes, the mattress. It's alive. It's alive.
It's alive!
Live!
It's alive!
Yeah, I totally
Little
don't have a
Umber.
clue what you're on about
Yeah.
at all.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yep. I have not seen all of
Well-
those movies.
You want some
There you go.
Ovaltine?
Ovaltine.
You know
what the hell's Ovaltine got to do with it?
Do you know what's really great about those films, by the way? Do you know what's great about those films? The credits are quick and to the point, and then the film gets going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's who
Hey,
made it.
Emma.
Here's who's in it. Here's
Yep.
who's filming.
Exactly. Yep. It's to the point.
All right. Well, but the thing about it is well, a lot of that stuff, a lot of the what's become kind of Frankenstein myth and Frankenstein lore comes from that movie, and
Right.
but quite frankly, a lot of it is actually James Wells' kind of like vision of it. But there's not a lot of when it comes to the actual creature's creation. It has more to do with actually the lightning, the what's called what the heck is that? What is that?
called-
I
What
got a
the heck
text
is that?
message. That's what it was.
What?
Oh,
Turn
okay.
down. Let me turn my
All
phone
right.
down.
There's nobody
That was
turning
just-
their phones off for these
That
things.
was the Star Trek communicator going off.
Yeah,
Yes.
seriously. I was like, yeah. Well, don't get beamed up yet. Okay.
No, you don't.
Wait till the end of the show.
This place is exciting. Anyway,
This place is exciting.
Yeah, Star
I'll tell
Trek
you
4.
what,
I remember.
The funny thing is about that clip there, is you see all that electrical equipment,
yeah.
and
So
you know they hoist the cadaver up there to get electrocuted. Basically, I mean, it kind of almost goes against the. It goes against the principles of what the human body is supposed to be able to freaking take, because it's getting like how many thousands of volts are going through, you know, and whether it's dead or not, he'd come down looking like the Thanksgiving turkey, really.
Well, the thing that was inspiring that is called galvanism. Okay, we'll get into that.
All right.
And Mary Shelley, let me go ahead and play this right quick. This is pretty much a synopsis of the novel.
Okay.
Here you go.
The 1818 novel was revolutionary in its depiction of science and religion and served as a pioneer text in the sci-fi genre, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. On the surface, it's a novel about a scary monster, but her sympathetic description of a soulful creature makes us rethink who we label as the monster. I'm Dr. Emily Zarka, and this is Monstrum. Remember, this is not Frankenstein. This is. Although Shelley's character was not a doctor of any kind, he never actually even finished his university studies.
One man crazy, three very sane spectators.
I've decided to refer to him as Dr. Frankenstein, as he was first called in the 1931 movie, to emphasize the distinction between him and his creation. Dr. Frankenstein was the scientist who created the nameless creature. Boris Karloff's depiction of a tall, shambling, mute man with bolts sticking out of his neck has become the classic image of the monster. But Shelley's original description is actually much more macabre. Shelley writes, quote, "His yellow skin scarcely covered the work of muscles and arteries beneath. His hair was of a lustrous black and flowing, his teeth of a pearly whiteness, his watery eyes, his shriveled complexion, and straight black lips." Shelley's Dr. Frankenstein assembled his creature from materials found in charnel houses, the vaults where corpses were kept. But he also took bits from the slaughterhouse. So yes, her creature is made of both human and animal parts. The creature definitely looks scary, but just because something looks scary, that doesn't mean it is. Shelley's original creation is a highly intelligent vegetarian who hates the idea of harming another living creature. At the beginning of the novel, he wants nothing more than to be accepted and loved by another being. Ironically, it's the monstrous treatment he receives from humans that drives him to kill. Dr. Frankenstein abandons the creature at the moment of his animation, letting what basically amounts to a newborn wander into the darkness alone to fend for himself. The tension between Frankenstein and the creature represents the struggle between parent and child, self and other, love and hate, science and morality, abandonment and acceptance. It's a warning to treat all living things with respect, or else. 200-year-old spoiler alert, Shelley's novel ends with Frankenstein and his entire family dead, and the creature himself presumably committing suicide.
Wow, sounds like a very exciting, depressing, yeah.
Well, as always, I use when I use that monstrum stuff, I know that she's going to inject, CRT, DEI, and all sorts of concepts into it, And so if you go further down that video, she starts equating it to racism. All of a sudden, it's like everything. I mean, if all you got, if all you got is a hammer, everything's a nail, and she just goes right back to CRT.
Push the narrative.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty good synopsis of the novel. Before she started,
the movie Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro as the creature was quite interesting because he actually speaks in that. He's quite intelligent in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one yet.
Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh plays Frankenstein.
I actually saw one from Hallmark. It's on. It's actually pretty good. It's a pretty straight adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but it's on the net. It's on YouTube for free. But it had Luz Goss in it. Had Donald Sutherland. Had William Hurt. It's actually a really good adaptation.
There was a 90s one called Frankenstein Unbound that I saw once, I think. That had John Hurt and Raul Julia.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Frankenstein is fascinating to a lot of people and everything, and it's a lot of different adaptations. A lot of, I have a character that's actually Frankenstein's monster.
But of course you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but if you took Frankenstein and basically turned him into an assassin, for the government, a brainwashed assassin for the government, then that's pretty much what you got with my Deadeye 2. And so, those concepts are really fascinating to me. It's really so.
They did like a Frankenstein kind of thing in Buffy twice in some ways, because there was one guy got reborn and brought back to life with body parts, and then there was Adam that was in the Initiative. That was kind of like demon parts, the robot parts, kind of the same.
Yeah. Adam's definitely Frankenstein's monster. And he does kill his creator,
Yeah, why not?
He had mommy issues though. So a little different. A lot of monsters just go to any story time. Yeah. No, we are not going there. We are not going there.
My goodness, it's Transenstein.
It's Transenstein. Oh my god!
Yeah.
They made a kids cartoon series, Hanna-Barbera, in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Called
Frankenstein Jr.
Frankenstein Jr.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a normal size. He was like a freaking giant.
Yeah.
And,
right.
I wonder if I've seen that.
Yeah,
you probably have.
Look it up. Yeah. It's Hanna-Barbera. It's all right. It's part of the Hanna-Barbera legacy.
Right.
So
should
be out there.
But basically, at the end of the day, there's some Frankenstein. There's like some things that are very similar from, like, all the depictions. First of all, there's a mad scientist, basically, or a man who has a morbid fascination that and he's brilliant enough to bring it to make it happen. And there's a hapless creature assembled from body parts that didn't ask to be created, and then he's pretty much the scientist creates him just to see if he could, and then once the realities, when he gets a good eyeball, the reality abandons the creature, and the creature makes him pay.
Yeah.
And that's pretty common across pretty much every depiction. In some ways, and a lot of depictions, modern depictions, have a lot to do with the Boris Karloff Frankenstein. You know, all of them have the same features and everything. I mean, everything from Herman Munster all the way. You know,
Herman Munster, and obviously the Addams Family as well, but Lurch a little bit.
Lurch, definitely Lurch.
Yeah.
He's definitely a. Basically, there's the thing that we're going to talk about tonight is it possible that what's speculated? And when you go back to the original source material, Mary Shelley,
Time Prophet.
just bring the comment up. All right.
My goodness, it's Frankenhorror.
There you go. All right. Which, oh, by the way, is a movie. There's literally a movie called Frankenhorror. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Really? Is it in the back room of the video store with bees?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Frankenhooker, right. By the way, Time Prophet, you misspelled Stein, Frankenstein.
Oh,
You misspelled it.
Stein.
Just putting that out there.
Frankenstein. Yeah. It's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Is it Froderick?
All right.
Suit yourself, I'm easy.
But if you go back to the original, it's the galvanism doesn't even come in. Okay, yeah. But that galvanism doesn't even come in, which is the light. We'll talk about the galvanism in just a minute. But it was more based on alchemy, and the question always comes back to what is alchemy. So I've got a little clip on that. This is pretty good synopsis of what alchemy is.
Alchemy. Alchemy is an ancient practice that combines elements of science, philosophy, and mysticism. Its origins can be traced back to ancient Egypt, India, and China, with the earliest records appearing around 300 BCE. The practice later spread to the Islamic world and medieval Europe, evolving significantly over the centuries. At its core, alchemy is based on the belief that the universe is composed of four basic elements: earth, water, air, and fire. Alchemists sought to understand and manipulate these elements to achieve two main goals: the transmutation of base metals into noble metals, such as turning lead into gold, and the creation of the Philosopher's Stone, a substance believed to grant immortality and perfect health. Examples of alchemical practice include the creation of elixirs and potions, the study of the properties of metals and minerals, and the development of complex laboratory techniques. Alchemists like Paracelsus and Isaac Newton made significant contributions to both alchemy and early modern science. Paracelsus, for instance, used alchemical principles to advance medical treatments, while Newton's work in alchemy influenced his discoveries in physics and mathematics.
It cut it off.
Yeah. Alchemy. You're this younger brother of the Ayatollah. Comey.
All right. Are you going to bring up some of the? You going to bring up some of these comments? Okay.
What? Again, calm down now. What the heck?
Yeah, we're getting there, Time Prophet. Okay, we're getting there. All right.
Oh my God.
But alchemy, basically, yeah. Well, alchemy. Peter Christian played the best Dr. Frankenstein. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, by alchemy is like the basis of what the novel Frankenstein. Okay, and essentially, it came from a nightmare that she had, and at that time, she basically her whole entire life had to do with, was surrounded by death. Okay, her mother was this crazy, high-strung feminist who tried to commit suicide 2 months before she was born, and then died in childbirth and got her wish. But that was her birth, and she always read her mother's stuff and try to get close to her. And then she basically was the other woman in a situation. And but she was the other woman in a situation with a famous poet named Percy Shelley. and then there's this one whole. I called it the year without a summer, and it's because there's this volcano that erupted and it spewed a whole bunch of ash into the air, and basically the summer was the coldest on record. It's one of the coldest that's ever been recorded. And so because there was really no sun that summer, everybody was like looking for things to do, and they went off to Lake Geneva with Lord Byron and some other party goers, and they all challenged each other to write a ghost story. And she woke up, and with all that running through her head, and probably a good dose of opium, she woke up in the middle of the night with this vision in her head, and she wrote it down. It became the modern Prometheus, otherwise known as Frankenstein. And also we talked about last week, Nosferatu came out of the same weekend, which inspired Bram Stoker's Dracula. So it's a busy weekend. It's busy.
Yeah, apparently.
A big busy session.
Yeah. I don't know what was in that laudanum, but something. But anyway,
opium perhaps.
Asmith.
Right there you go. Yep. Like I just said, are you listening to us? Are you seriously listening to me? I just said that. Anyway, all right. So there's like a scientific basis for what they're saying. And one of the things is something called galvanism, which was brand new at the time. And so let me play that to you now. And the reason why this is a little bit odd, the way it's situated, is because it comes from Vox, and I wasn't going to advertise those idiots. So that's why I shifted over a little bit. Anyway.
All right, cool deal.
There, all right.
What? What about this? How? Why? What are we doing now?
Stream unavailable.
Nice.
It cleared. It freaking cleared.
Not mine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's probably because it's on mine.
Well, I mean,
your channel's probably still up.
That's FuckTube for you. I mean,
no, mine's not up. No, mine's not up. It should come back online in just a minute.
Are we still okay on Rumble and that? Rumble?
We're still okay on Rumble, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But
it's the clips.
But yeah, it didn't even come up as being a copyright when I ran it through the system. And
is that what's flagged it? Is that what's taking it down?
Yeah, that's what flagged it.
It's this video. Yeah.
It's it's the freaking Vox bullshit.
Hello, not Brian. I was going
Brian.
to say hello, not Brian, but before we got interrupted by this fucking
yeah.
So
well. Yeah. Well, anyway.
Down! You killed the stream. Down!
You killed the stream. Damn it!
Damn it, man!
What are you doing? Oh, what the hell is new, huh?
So,
I mean,
so it's not.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not the only one that has this issue. I mean, everybody else is having this issue right now.
Yeah.
Because you'll run it through their system, and their system will be fine. I didn't even get a copyright on it when I ran it through the system, and yet it took the clip down. So I don't know what to do about it. I really don't.
How long was that? How long
what
was
do you
that
do?
clip? How long was that clip, buddy?
It was like I said, it didn't even do like a copyright. It didn't register as a copyright.
It just said stream unavailable.
Which clip was it? Though? Was it the first one or the second one?
No, it was second. It had to be the second one.
That was the galvanism is galvanism lows 3 minutes 34.
It has to be that one.
Is it that one?
I didn't even bother. I mean, I like I said, I ran it through the system and it was fine. Didn't even come up as a copyright strike.
Yeah.
So I mean,
we've changed the rules on you again.
I guess so. Mine should come up in just a matter of seconds.
My middle fingers is stretching out again. Oh, no.
Yeah.
So
Well, the thing about it is, I'm
I
back.
have these
I'm back.
reactions. I have these reactions sometimes.
You're back up?
Okay, I'm back up.
back?
I don't,
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm back up too.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Back.
Shenanigans
All right, if
over.
anybody's still here,
Back.
if anybody's still here,
Shenanigans over.
basically, I ran these clips through the system. The system said fine, but suddenly I get taken down by the freaking algorithm. So the system is different from what the algorithm is, and nobody can figure out what triggers that algorithm because the system says it's fine. So I didn't even get a copyright. I mean, it didn't even register as a copyright. So
yeah, the Muppets
figure that out.
The Muppets that programmed the algorithm probably don't know what triggers the damn thing.
Yeah, speaking of Frankenstein's monster, you know,
Frankenstein's algorithm. There you go.
Frankenstein's algorithm. Yeah. But anyway, so we'll evidently it's pretty aggressive tonight. So been run by a parkour. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Whatever. Anyway, so I won't play any more clips tonight, just in case. I've been playing clips the last few weeks and have been fine. So I don't know. But I won't play any more tonight. Evidently, the algorithm's really aggressive tonight, so I'm going to pass on that. But
is it because of the source you're getting them from, or is it somebody's messing
well,
around?
that was one from Vox, so I'm sure Vox is pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
No.
Playing funny buggers.
Just don't use Vox, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I cropped them out. I mean, and so I mean. But
what other clips? Have you got clips from somewhere different?
Yeah, I got another one from somewhere different, but it's about 4 minutes. So I'm not gonna do that one tonight.
Okay.
I'll pass on that.
On that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I could have played. I mean, it didn't even say copyright, so I mean, it is what it is. You know, fuck YouTube. Anyway. All right. So basically, getting back to it, what they're talking about is galvanism. They're talking about this the era of enlightenment was sliding straight on with science, scientific thought. Yeah. And so you went from a bunch of poetry, a bunch of progressive thought, and then you ran into hard scientists trying to catch up, and this was like a very barbaric time, okay, in sciences. You just came out of the dark ages, and then the human life didn't have the individuality wasn't like a prized thing. I mean, you had like 6 kids, and you didn't really have an attachment to them because maybe 2 of them might make it to adulthood. So it's just because of that. There wasn't a lot of affection among people. Marriages were basically contracted and things like that, and so you had that running head on into scientific achievement or scientific exploration, and so there were a lot of like barbaric things done in the name of science, and at this time, basically the scientists were grave robbers.
Right.
Because they couldn't get like cadavers any other way. The cadavers all went to medical school. So if you want to invest, you wanted to dissect a human body, you basically had to steal one from a graveyard. And there were people that actually made a living stealing bodies out of graveyards. At this particular time, there was also this whole thing where people were like, reviving in caskets underground, and so they had these like safety caskets, basically what they were called. So if you revived underground, you could ring a bell or something and let people know on the surface that they needed to dig you up.
If somebody just happened to be passing in the dead of night, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Well, that's where. I mean, that's the graveyards all had like. Yeah, graveyards had all had watchmen because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, listening
Dead
for
ringers.
bells.
Dead ringers. That's good.
You
I
know,
love it.
we're talking
There you go.
about
There you go.
Dead ringers.
basically
Dead ringers. That's
Frankenstein-
where that came from. That's actually where
Dead
that came
ringers.
from. Dead ringers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
I love it.
It's a dead ringer. Run for your life.
Yeah. There you go.
So I was reading a couple articles today regarding basically reanimation of dead tissue and cells.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite an interesting little article I ran across stating that Yale University had successfully revived cells in basically dead pigs. They pretty much had everything functioning, but with the exception of the brain for cognition and stuff like that, so that the brain just functioned, the heart, things like that. But they basically euthanized the pig and waited several hours, and then with some sort of special, they put some sort of special chemicals or medications, and they pump it in there intravenously into the pig, and basically got the pig's body alive without the brain function, without the brain of being self-aware. It was just doing all the automatic functions of running the heart and stuff like that.
Well,
which was that was I think in 2012. I think that actually occurred. If I'm not mistaken.
yeah. There's two things that prevent you from bringing somebody back to life, and that is heart function and mind function, and you also have to fight necrosis,
Right.
which is tissues breaking down, and so there's been some pretty incredible things happening along the lines of cryogenesis and things like that, where people are like falling in lakes and things like that and then revived almost half an hour later and go on to have productive lives,
The article, the article was talking about it. Basically, the article was trying to point out that this would be a boon for organ transplants and things like that, keeping them basically pristine and not quote unquote dead, before implantation into the recipient of the organ, whether it's the lungs or the heart or whatnot. It would be able to keep the organs like alive continuously and not have any kind of damage, any kind of cellular damage or necrosis or anything like that. Any of those things.
Well, the problem is ice crystals.
Yeah, they wouldn't have any reduced tissue or cell deterioration.
When ice freezes below a certain point, it crystallizes, and that would cause like permanent damage to tissue.
Right. And then this treatment that they used, they were talking about how if it was streamlined, of course it's in experimentation, but the goal is to avoid that ice crystallization, all that crystal which causes cell damage and tissue damage in the body. So they want to avoid that, and this is one of those ways that they could do that. I mean, and then you can go back to the good old Dolly the sheep who was cloned, cloned sheep. But the funny part about it is Dolly wasn't number one Dolly. Dolly was 265 Dolly. And 264 failures before Dolly.
And she didn't live long.
No, 6.5 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
She died of rapid aging.
Well, the issue is, and it's just covered. Mary Shelley was thinking ahead. Okay. She thought because in the book, Dr. Frankenstein came up with a serum that arrested tissue deterioration. And so now what they're doing today is they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to find a way to define the right the collection of chemicals that's going to I just brought these up, Wookie. I already
Okay.
brought these up. Anyway.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. Anyway, but basically, so what she was thinking is more of an alchemical thing than it was electrical thing. And the James Wells movie brought the electrical thing in. But basically, the approaches that they're looking at now are very similar to what was in Frankenstein, and that is a chemical to arrest the cellular deterioration or even restore functionality.
Right.
And then electrical to restart the dendrons and the nervous system.
Right.
And so, in doing so, amputations and reattachments have come a long way, and they've reintroducing we're not that far off from them being able to take an arm off of one person and attaching it to another.
Yeah,
well, I was gonna say, what about the nerves and connecting those? That might be a bit harder.
That's always been the issue, but they have found a way to through a stem cell transplant.
I was just gonna say that stem cells. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
They have discovered ways to grow nerve clusters back.
So we're gonna get to have a real man with two heads going around.
Rosie Greer, baby.
Rosie Greer. George Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not that far from Zaphoid Beeblebrox. Okay. Anyway, but look it up. Zaphoid Beeblebrox. Look him up. Anyway, but honestly, when you this is the technology that they let us know they have. Okay.
Right.
So what we're talking about what's available in the private sector. What basically has is available to us.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, who knows what the government's got? I mean, who knows how far they actually are?
Yeah.
Somebody has made the point that if you look at the trajectory of humankind, it ground to a halt about 10 years ago. We were proceeding at a certain pace, and then suddenly it's like somebody put the brakes on. And then suddenly we stopped progressing past this certain point at the same speed that we were going. But they're like speculating. Go ahead.
It's like there's spurts, isn't it? It's almost like there's spurts with the advancement, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and somebody speculated that maybe about 10 years ago, a lot of this got out of the private sector and became governmental. And so maybe if it proceeded at the pace that it was going, maybe they have technologies they don't want us to know that they have.
Probably.
And,
I imagine quite a few.
That's probably it.
And if you
surprising.
Yeah, and so if you look at how far they had been advancing in some of this tissue restoration and reattachment and cloning and things like that, then if you keep the speed going that they were at, they would probably be already doing a lot of these things now. If they truly took it to if the government took this stuff and took it underground. As a matter of fact, the speculation is that they already have active AI.
Probably.
What we're seeing in the private sector is basically the stupid Hans, kind of like the horse stamps its foot or whatever. What you program in is what comes back. It doesn't write its own program.
Yeah.
But the speculation is they already have crossed that barrier in governmental sectors that we don't even know about. So
there was a rumor, and this I don't know. Abby might be aware of it. Back when before football went to shit and all woke and all this bullshit, pre-COVID, pre all the woke bullshit, Me Too, all that crap. I want to say probably about 10 years ago, maybe more. But it was in this. It was in the 2000s. There were some athletes, football players primarily, that were getting injured. You know, knee, hip, back, neck, shoulder, stuff like that. Which, you know, back in the 90s would have been retirement automatically. You know, they couldn't play or perform. Well, there was a rumor going around, and I think there was a small little news blip that there was some sort of a drug that was being administered to the athletes once they were injured that accelerated their healing by a factor of like 10 or something like this.
Stem cells. They were using
Was
stem
it?
cells.
It was stem cells? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember them mentioning it was stem cells, but they were giving it to them. And like an injury that would have normally taken, you know, weeks or months to recover from was done in days.
Yeah.
For these athletes. And
Well,
they kept
they
it
went,
as a rumor.
Well, I mean, they went from like saying that we're right around the corner for cure from this, cure for that, cure for that. You know, Michael J. Fox suddenly, you know, his Parkinson's was diminished enough that he could function again. And then it all just like went away, like overnight. Suddenly, oh, well, we weren't as close as we thought we were, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, right.
I remember cancer treatment. Suddenly cancers that were like stage 4, people were going into remission for. Mm-hmm. And now it's like if you get cancer, it's a death sentence again. And it's been the last few years.
Respects, it's crazy.
It got at one point about 10 years ago. I remember people like you know, reversing stage 4.
Right.
And then now it's like people, it was stage 2, and then you're putting them in the grave in like 2 months. You know,
it goes along the lines with these things. You know, me and Wookie were talking about it. I want to be about a year ago. There was a doctor that had found the cure to cancer, and within a week, he was found dead in his office.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a healthy person. He didn't, but they found that he had died of some mysterious causes.
Yep.
And same with the guy who just created the car that could run on water. You know, he had him off. You can look back and see that a lot of physicians and scientists that have come up with quote unquote cures for it could be cancer, it could be MS, it could be a lot of different things. A cure for fucking Alzheimer's and dementia, all this stuff. Every time they come out with an announcement, they make this discovery or this findings, and they show their results. They mysteriously die for whatever reason. Just boom, they're gone. They're dead within a matter of a short period of time. Case in point, no one died, but someone got ostracized to the point that they lost their whole freaking telethon. Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis, the Easter Seals telethon, the MS stuff. He was approached by a scientist in the veterinarian field who came up with and discovered a cure for the same form of MS that was in animals, dogs, cats, things like that, because they do suffer that. He came up with this and did his science, did his tests and stuff like that on the animals and everything, cured them all. Yeah.
And he approached Jerry Lewis with this because he knew that it was the same it was exactly the same type of disease. So he approached him. He came with a phone book, a New York phone book, deep freaking file of stuff, gave it to Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis studied it, digested it, then approached the people with, the March of Dimes or whatever the organization was, and they fired him.
Mm-hmm.
They fired him. That's why you don't have the telethons anymore.
No.
Well,
fired Jerry Lewis.
What is the documentation of this? Because this is the first I've heard of it.
There's a video out there of Jerry Lewis actually talking about it on YouTube, if you can find it, unless it's been taken down. But there's a video
if it's on YouTube, it's gone.
Been taken down.
There's
if
a
it's
video
on YouTube,
out there.
it's gone.
Yeah, but there's probably other places. But there's a video of him actually talking about it, Jerry Lewis, after the fact. There was also a radio show that I actually heard of the actual scientist guy who was being interviewed on a radio show. It wasn't like it wasn't George Noy or anything like that. It was just a regular show.
Okay.
And they had him on it.
Well, we're definitely fulfilling the conspiracies part of our show tonight.
But going back to the reanimation thing, I think that we're closer than we probably are led on to believe in some respects. That's why, it's kind of funny why the government all of a sudden would be concerned about zombies.
Yeah.
Well, look at it this way. Why does every building, public building, have a defibrillator in it? What's a defibrillator? It brings people back to life, right? If they have a heart attack or something like that and they're flatlined, it brings them back to life. Granted, they have the blood and all their systems and organs are working fine, but
they have a heart attack.
Given that regard, it's somewhat in the realm of possibility.
Right. Well, yeah, but now, in recent times, like in the last year and a half, we've got there's those freaking things in Targets now. Yeah. In the front entrance. Yeah. Why is that?
Right.
I think we all know what that's about. But
what
we can't talk
thing?
about that subject.
What frickin' things?
The defibrillators. If you walk into a Target, there is a box, usually near the customer service counter. At the one here at my town, it's right next to the restrooms. In front of the hallway, right next to the freaking fire extinguisher, actually. It's a big yellow box. It says AEG or AED on it.
Yeah, AED.
It's a defibrillator for heart attacks. And it was only put in. It was put in both the Targets that I service in the last year.
Yeah.
So, but they do work.
Yeah.
Or at least they are supposed to.
Yeah.
All right.
But I think we're closer than we're being led on to believe with things like that, especially maybe not necessarily, resurrecting somebody that's died 15 years ago or something like that, but definitely cloning or actually being able to regenerate human tissue. For crying out loud, they're growing ears on mice.
There are like things like bionics and things like that and prosthetics that are getting more and more intuitive and functional. The video I was going to show before the algorithm kind of like scared me off of it was had like Luke Skywalker's hand, showing that. But
Disney kill you for that.
Yeah, they got like something very, very close to like that hand, something like that.
I just saw something the other day, a video or something, a news report about improved the dexterity of these prosthetic hands and things like that.
Well, they've gotten to where it's taking signals from the former like tendons and nerves in the arm and closing the fingers that are appropriate. No, I did not say Lee Majors. But I'm just saying that when you're talking about some of the things that are in Frankenstein, some of the technologies that she predicted, some of the approaches that she predicted. The book really is staggering. It's really staggering, just the kind of leaps that she made, and once again, fiction that comes from someplace else. She wrote this like in a very short amount of time. It just like it all came out of her, and that dream was like very clear, and she wrote it all down. And the editing took a lot longer. It took her years to edit it, but the initial writing just was like she wrote it down just a matter of days, basically. And it all came from that vivid dream that she had. And so basically what happened was she basically created a whole entire genre with this book.
Yeah.
And essentially it eventually it basically Colt Seavers was a fall guy. That's not even the $6 million man.
No, you're thinking of Steve Austin.
Anyway.
Even I know that.
Okay. All right. So basically, so we're down to the question: is Frankenstein possible? And for me, I'm gonna say it's confirmed. I think it's entirely possible. I don't think we're that far off of it, as we are, and I think the government might already be there, and we just don't know how far that they've gone
as
with
Time
it.
Prophet has said in the chat, we are there. Look at Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to go around the horn here. All right, Cruel. What are you thinking, Cruel?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think I'm in the middle with this. I think there's something there. I think there's definitely medical applications, like you say, for reanimation or perhaps amputations and things like that. I'm not sure we could get a full Frankenstein out of it, though. At least maybe not yet. But I could be wrong.
All right. Okay, there you go.
I could be wrong.
Abby is undecided. I'm not even going to bother her.
No, actually, Abby is in the middle. I'm with
You're in the
Cruel on
middle.
this one.
Holy crap. Okay, so Abby's in
I
the
just
middle.
Newsflash!
Abby's in the middle.
He's in the middle.
I need a defibrillator. I need a defibrillator.
I know.
The Futurama episode where it showed Walt Disney's frozen head.
Oh, wow, that's wow.
They need to bring that anti-Semite back.
No, the best one was the robot chicken version.
All right, Wookie. What are you saying, man?
I'm gonna say it's possible.
Okay.
Definitely possible. Given the fact that they're coming up with chemicals and things like that to actually preserve and deter cell deterioration and tissue deterioration for transplant, organs and things like that. We're not far off. And if they can, you have cloning and you have stem cells, you have all these different techniques that they're using. At some point, I don't know how it's going to work out, but yeah, I mean, we might end up really living through the frickin' Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
So yeah,
right.
definitely possible.
All right, so you're in the middle on it then.
Well, it's possible.
Sounds like
That's not the
More than
categories. In the middle. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
In the
All
middle.
Okay. All right. So you're in the middle. All right. Let me check my poll. I definitely have a poll.
Do you have a poll?
Let me check.
I actually have a poll too.
All right.
Yes, I do.
Which munchies do I have now? That's the poll.
Damn.
Okay.
This is interesting numbers I have here.
All right. So for the poll.
I'm just
Okay.
mine.
For my poll, I'm going to end mine now. And it looks like I'm 50% in the middle. And
wow.
Yep. So that's 50% in the middle, 25 confirmed, 25 undecided. Ooh. So it looks like in the middle is going to probably get it tonight.
I got 6 votes on mine.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And mine is 50% debunked. 16%.
Well, that's because you got time profit. So yeah.
16% confirmed, 16% in the middle, and 16 undecided.
Okay.
6 votes. So yeah, the bulk.
Well, if you add in my poll and our what we said and I think we probably outvoted them. So we're just going to declare in the middle tonight. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
All righty. So.
Nice.
Okay.
I must have ended it.
All righty. Yeah, we ended it, B-Dog. We went ahead and ended it, man.
I could hear running water. Wait, let me see what's going in the middle. And the love cup keeps running over.
Yeah, well, you know.
Anyway.
That was a good stream.
So, hey, except for that one hiccup, because YouTube sucks.
Yep.
At least the algorithm does. And what you're going to get is once this thing, concludes at the end, you're going to get absolutely no break. The stream's not going to be taken down. There's not going to be any strikes. You'll be able to see exactly what we said the whole entire time, because for some reason the algorithm doesn't determine what winds up being on the website. And so why the hell do you have it?
Yeah.
All it does
is to scare people off.
All it does is just kill live streams. That's all it does. That's all it's there for.
They want to, yeah.
Pretty much.
This is why you guys need to jump it to Rumble permanently.
Yes.
Yep.
I wish everybody would just leave and go to Rumble. I mean, seriously.
It's getting there.
But the technology's not there yet on Rumble yet. It doesn't have the functionality YouTube does yet.
Well, I can tell you the bulk of the eyes on us right now, at least compared to my two channels, is on your X account.
Yeah.
That's got the most eyes on us.
Right now.
But the bulk of the chat is coming from your YouTube, my YouTube. I mean,
yeah,
and then.
But the bulk of the rewatches will be on Rumble, though. You notice that?
Yeah.
The rewatches on Rumble are like twice of what you'll be on YouTube.
Place, what's going on?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Coordinate this shit. Come on now.
I know, right?
Well, speaking of Frankenstein's monster, screw YouTube. There you go. Anyway.
Yeah.
But that's been pretty much the show. We decided in the middle tonight. If you have something different that you want to put in the chat later, or put in, go ahead and comment later. You can comment on mine, or you can comment on Wiki's. If you have an interesting comment, we'll bring it up next show. But okay, so next week, keeping with the Universal monsters, we're going to go. We had vampires last week, and this week was Frankenstein. Next week is going to be werewolf.
Werewolf.
And
werewolf.
So, lycanthropy. Werewolf. And so is lycanthropy mental illness? Okay.
Right.
Because yeah.
And is it related to parkourism?
Yes, parkourism.
Of course.
Is that what you're telling me?
All right.
All right, everybody.
Got to play it at least once a show. Got to play it once.
And then tomorrow, 9 a.m., my channel for the week review, and we're going to talk about all the news bullshit that is the bullshit on the news.
Yay.
Yeah. Anyway, so all right, thank you all for coming. We'll be here next week, next Friday night, same Cryptid channel, same conspiracy time. Next Saturday night. Next Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday.
At 7:00. Anyway. But we'll see you then.
See you all later.
We're talking about werewolves next week. So,
all right, everybody.
Everybody.
Have a good evening.
Good night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.